You were not only telling stories, but you were playing that instrument. I'd like to know a little bit about that. What is that?
Well, the instrument is an ancient harp out of West Africa. It's called a kora, K-O-R-A. And it's played by traditional, what we call storytellers, but they're more widely known as oral historians, genealogists. So this instrument is used to deliver the news of the day, remind people of their genealogy. For example, you would tell someone the great deeds of their great-grandfather, and you would expect them to meet those deeds of their grandfather, or grandmother, or their father or mother.
Wow, well, there was no television, was there?
Exactly, that's exactly, it comes from an
Yeah.
oral tradition, a time before television, before mass media. So the storytelling is an aspect of it, but it's just a small aspect of it.
So it also brings on the thought of research. I understand you've done research as well, so you are conveying today the messages of yesteryear, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. I like to think that I act as a bridge between the past and the present, because what I'm doing is, I'm African American, I was born here, but my lineage dates back before slavery. So we deal with West Africa because that's where the majority of African American ancestors came from. So a lot of times people like to say so much was taken away from slavery, but we can reclaim things if we want. So I like to think of what I'm doing as a reclamation in some ways.
How did you learn to play that?
It wasn't easy. No, I actually have been studying for well over 15, close to 17 years now. And it took 10 years just to get the basics of the instrument. So I go back to Africa, it used to be twice a year, now it's once every other year, and I just continue studying.
So the instrument actually physically came from Africa?
Yeah, this is my very first one. Oddly enough, I bought my first one today, and this one came out of Senegal, West Africa. This was made in Dakar for me by a man named Ibrahim Kouyaté. And his family, actually, that's their work. This is what they do. They make these instruments, and they've been doing it for hundreds of years.
It is amazing to look at it, not only that, but to hear it. And then, of course, you have to do your story and play at the same time. And
you're impressed by that, huh?
Yeah, I'm impressed by that. And I'm impressed by the audience, because those kids were sitting there in the laps of their parents and watching, and they were pretty enthralled. You had messages to say.
Well, if you really think about it, I mean, storytelling is the basis of almost everything we do. I mean, if you really get down to the brass tacks or the roots of everything, all mass media are involved in telling stories some way, shape, or form. But what I like to think is there's an organic relationship between human beings that mass media can't give people. So when I'm telling a story, I'm looking into your eyes. I'm measuring your pulse. I'm seeing whether or not you have a smile. I'm engaging. And I tell my stories according to what the audience or the people present give me. I don't come with just a set group of stories that I tell.
We're telling a story right now, actually, aren't we? And then you've got your instrument, I've got mine.
Yeah, and exactly. And this is storytelling. See, when people watch what this is, how we edit it, it's going to be about the relationship that we've engaged in as two men here sharing information. You're a storyteller. Your medium might be different from mine, but you're still trying to serve the same purpose. You want to reach people, right?
Yeah, but see, you did it first.